6, 7. Good. I love it. Good. Rack it. Good. All right. All right.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
So week 2, day 2 of HIIT 100, we got PK. We're challenging him. It's 10 sets of 10. So the first set of 10, what we want to do is, in the beginning of any workout program, your body has the ability to move with speed. So if you have the advantage of actually having the equipment like bands, which I highly suggest you start working with, we're going to move to try and help recruit the type 2B fast twitch muscle fibers. So those muscle fibers are the biggest, the strongest, the ones that sprinters have. So what I want, traditionally, if you just have a barbell, you're going to do a barbell, but you're going to go 10 sets of 10, minimal rest periods. I know that right now it's technically like 50 seconds rest, but I want you burning. We're going to try and hone in on 30 seconds rest in between each set, right? 10 sets of 10. You're going to go as fast and as controlled as you can. I like using the leverage squat just because it's a controlled surface that allows him not to necessarily worry so much about the free movement, but more about just stimulating those fast twitch muscle fibers. And so at the beginning part of a workout program, because those aren't pre-exhausted, those aren't already in work, you have the ability to recruit them. It's kind of like why you would not want to sprint after running a 400-yard run, right? You're going to be tired. You're not going to have the best time. So let's go 10 sets of 10, okay? I want you to think like a mechanic pump, okay? I want you to think like a cylinder moving up and down like a piston. Okay. I don't want you to stop at the top. I want you to go up, down, up, down, up. Think like a piston in your head. That's the cadence, that's the pace. Here we go. Good. 1, up, good. 2, good. 3, good. 4, good. 5, 6, 7, good. 8, 9, 10. Rack it. Good. Give yourself some rest. The bands, it kind of keeps you that constant tension, so speed can become a factor. Yeah. If you were to try and do this with free weight and do it all, the weight would kind of fly up because of momentum. It's the same thing like with the cables. I can't move this as fast as I can because it's slack, but with the bands, right, plus that increased resistance of you going up and down, you're getting higher loads at the top because the band's at its furthest. Let's go, here we go, another 10, here we go, PK, good. Stomach tight, oh boy. In normal circumstances, even with like a 50-second rest, 60-second rest, 30-second rest, as you go throughout the program and each and every week, you can actually start doing cardio acceleration so you're not just resting right now. Okay, you don't have to do it right now, all right, but normally as you progress through the program, that's what we're aiming for. Let's go, 10, here we go. It's not about the weight with this 10 sets of 10. It's about staying consistent and making sure that you're keeping up with those high intensity interval training principles. Weight's not necessarily the goal, but making sure that the diminishing rest times each week, 60 seconds goes to 50, goes to 40, goes to 30, goes to 20, goes to 10, goes to none. By the end of week 6, he's not stopping at 10. He's doing 10, 10, he's doing 100 reps. That's the goal. It's German volume training. A lot of data, a lot of research shows that there's a lot of muscle that's being built when you kind of use diminishing rest periods over time to maximize the number of reps, or otherwise known as German volume training.
This is getting heavy.
Right? That's right. It's not about the weight. Here we go. So when you're moving weight, fast, powerful, that's what I love about this program, and I love about the bands, is because it's not just about like high intensity from here to here and keeping the speed of the program going, which you should be doing.
Right.
It's also using certain things like the bands to keep the speed of the exercises going. High intensity doesn't just mean moving from one thing to another. High intensity means you're performing at a high intense level in the actual exercises themselves. So if you can think like fast, powerful, that is going to keep correct. That's what you want. All right, here we go. All right, so if you think like when you're doing like fast, powerful movements to prevent injury, number one, but also to keep constant tension on the muscle. It's like if a piston comes up out of its cylinder, there's still a little part of the piston that remains inside the cylinder, right? To keep the compression there, to keep the tension, the force in there. If you unlock it and pull the piston out, what happens? Pressure releases. So if you think about that as you're coming up, when you're doing something powerful and you're boom, hyperextending out that's where, because this height, on lockout, this happens to the muscle, it relaxes, right? So if I can come up here, watch what happens. See how my muscle relaxes? So here the muscle's tense, right? All the way, but watch. See it relax? So just that short period of time, that's where you can have ligament tears. That's where you can start having some issues in the joint. So keeping constant tension on the muscle is not locking out to relaxation, even if it's for like a split second. So you want to keep pressure on the muscle. Think like a cylinder. Every movement you're doing, even like when you're doing a bench press, or even when you're doing like a shoulder press or a biceps curl, right? I want to keep constant tension on the muscle throughout. I don't ever want to go down here and relax and then hit it again, right?
Yeah, otherwise it loses its
It loses its force, and what that means is that you're losing the muscle's time under tension, right? So time under tension means a constant force applied to the muscle during the time that it's being active, not to force relaxation even for a second. Here we go. Perfect. 9, 10, 10. All right, one more set. One more set. High legs.
I think I'm as big as you.
Yeah, you're getting there. Yeah. You know, I'm excited for your potential. Now we're focusing on micro loading throughout each set of 10. So when you think about 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 8, or anything like that, how do you decide the weight? First of all, your first set should be weight you know you can do for 10 reps. Your second set should be weight that you think you can do for 10 reps.
Right.
Your third set should be weight that you hope you can do for 10 reps. That doesn't mean that you're going to get that last set of 10. That's fine. That's how you start figuring out your weight. All right, so here we go. So up, 3. I got you. Come on. Come on. Up. 4. Come on. Up. So that first set, that was weight that we were hoping for, not weight that we knew we could do.
Dude.
I might have overshot it.
Holy shit.
Visual aesthetics, right? So, you know, a lot of training is like, you know, using the psychology behind it. So having big weights, even if they're light, makes you feel good about yourself. So,
Such a dick.
It's motivation, right?
These are psychological tricks that we use. Big weight, lightweight, baby! Here we go. Good. Here we go. He's snap, crackle, popping all over. 5. Come on. 6. Good. Here we go. 7. Great job. Dude. Wow. A little bit more. You're going to go for broke. Here we go. Here we go. Good. 1. Good. Get 10. Get 10. Get 10. Get 10. Oh, boy. Good job. That was good. That was really good. Proud of you, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's good stuff.
Yeah, no shit.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. The biggest thing is like when you think leg press, you think, oh, it's such a simple movement, such a simple exercise. But so many people do it wrong. The biggest thing that they do wrong is that where his head is right here, that's a big problem, right? So this is called the tonic neck reflex, which means that his neck can come up here and 2 things happen. 1, rate of injury goes up in the cervical spine, and 2, he's actually not going to be as strong as he is by having his head up. I know it feels more comfortable sometimes doing it, but don't do that. Keep your head firmly planted. The other thing too is on his hip here, he's got to make sure that the lower part of his SI joint, right, stays in place. If it starts rolling this way, if he starts getting an anterior tilt as he comes down here, what that does is that a posterior tilt, which means his hips come forward, right? That can also stress the lower lumbar regions of the spine. That's not what we want. We want more hip flexion where his SI joint stays firmly placed on the bench here as well as his head, all right? Here we go. As far as foot placement goes, there's no real advantage unless you have a really, really big platform to place your feet. You can have your toes out, you can have your toes closer. That puts a little bit different emphasis on whatever type of, you know, because your quadriceps, you have your vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, vastus intermedialis, and rectus femoris, the 4 quadriceps muscles. Primarily, you can displace emphasis either on the vastus medialis here, if his toes were to be flared out a little bit and if the platform is a little bit wider. You can place a little bit more load onto the vastus lateralis here if your toes are placed a little bit closer and more straightforward. But ideally, we're not really going for like whether we're focusing on teardrop or anything like that. We just want the best biomechanical foot position to put an emphasis on all 4 of the quadriceps muscles, and that's gonna be just normal shoulder width apart. Here we go, 10 sets of 10. Oh, you got it.
What's up?
Oh yeah, you got it, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah. You got it. You got it.
Dude, I don't know where you're thinking.
He believes in you.
I'm more,
Was he trying to
I'm more gassed.
1, good. 2, 6, 7. Good, rack it. Good. All right. All right.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
Now, for time's sake, what we can be doing with this is we can be doing a tricep, going from leg press to leg extension to leg curl. So what we're going to do, give you a little bit of break, but we are going to superset both leg extension and leg curl.
Okay.
15.
Yeah.
Okay, so same thing. So now again, the biggest thing is keeping constant tension on here. Research shows that there's a shearing force that can happen onto the knee, specifically the ACL, because as the weight comes up. So, but what we've seen is that when you don't go into full flexion of the knee to where that's actually pulling this down, you want to stop right at the 90 degrees. So here we go. 15, toes up, flex the toes up, here we go. Flex at the top, here we go. 15, 1, there we go. And down and up, 2, good. There we go, up, 13, 14, 15, 5, get it up all the way, curl, full curl, 6, good. 7, come on. 8, here we go. 9, come on. 10, 5 more, come on. Up, 11, 12, come on. Up, 13, come on, up, come on. 14, come on, up, 15, good. Back on the leg extension, here we go. So on every start of the muscle group, we pick that specific muscle to perform a 10 sets of 10 movement. So we did legs, we did squats, 10 sets of 10, and then we moved into the progression of the program. Now, because we're transitioning muscle groups, we're doing 10 sets of 10 with a triceps movement. So we can do traditional triceps extension just like this, okay? But I want your arms to get big, right? This is the standard way most people do it. I like using the bands because, again, you're getting that increased resistance.
Sure.
To where the weight gets heavier at the top of the movement.
Yeah.
Plus you can go for speed, you can go fast. So what I want though is I want emphasis being placed on the long head of the triceps. So we're doing an overhead triceps extension versus a regular triceps extension because I want that emphasis to hit that long head. Here we go. Let's go, let's go. Get in here.
Yep.
Using the bands.
Yep.
6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 1, 2, yeah, 3, more, 5. When you can relax the scapula back here and almost let the weight hang your body down, that's when you're really going to feel it. Now we're just going to do barbell line, triceps extension, or a skull crusher, right?
Okay.
So the thing about this one is that I actually want you on an incline, again, because that incline is going to put that arm in a better position for constant tension, so I don't want you lying flat. 1.
You were doing 2 sets of 5.
Up.
45.
2.
Now it's like
Up.
you really want 245.
6. Come on. 11. Come on. 12. 15. Oh boy. All right, final stretch in the program. We're back to hitting calves. But the idea behind the calf raise is a lot of people think that it's just about the ankle flexion, right? Coming up here, right? Which is perfectly fine. But what I want is I want kind of a little bit of a jumping movement. So we're here. So as we come up, we're here. And we're not just flexing the ankle, but a little flex in the knees, and then we're coming up, okay? So you're not just doing this, right? I just don't want ankle flexion. I want knees bent, and I want you to kind of jump into the movement here.
Okay.
And the knee, bend it to like a jump. Bend, 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 bend. There you go. Better. Last thing now, we finish. We hit up legs, triceps, calves, part of the legs, obviously. Now the very last thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna finish with a high intense movement. So where you're gonna be doing things like kettlebell snatches, kettlebell swings, you'd be doing power pulls, you can be doing all different types of things, dead curl press. So right now, we have kettlebell swing. So what we want with the kettlebell swing is it's not a big movement. A lot of people overemphasize the movement to where they think that they really have to swing it up, and they come down here, and as they come up, they're really swinging up. You don't need to do that, because what you want is you want to generate that force in your hips to where that's causing this. It's this movement here and squeezing in the hip rotation here that's popping that bell up. And we just want to go for 10. So the feet are slightly turned out. I don't want your feet turned here, slightly turned out. So as you go down, you descend with your hips. The kettlebell goes between your thighs here, but you're not swinging. Don't do that. A lot of people think that you do this, and that's not what you want. You want a downward movement here and then pop it up. Here, pop it up. Here, pop it up. Bringing your hips, let your hips are the ones doing the swinging. So you're doing this here, okay? That's the movement here, all right? It is what it is, bro. All right, here we go, 10. And if that's good, here, pop the hips up.
Yeah.
Pop the hips up, good. Squeezing the butt at the top. A jerking at the top. So that's it, guys. We are done with week 2, day 2 of the HIIT 100 program. With PK, he's finishing up the last movement, the kettlebell swing, 10 sets of 10, making sure that those high intensity interval training principles are being applied. And this movement, he has just short rest periods in between 10 sets of 10. By the end of week 6, he's gonna be doing 100 reps for these type of movements. So stay tuned next time, guys. Thank you for joining. Let's go, PK. Get it done. Here we go. Come on.